Hey YouTube, it's your boy Pritpal from Pritpals Projects, and we are finally back with another video. Now, I know it's been a while since we released one. The last one was the mapping video, but the truth is, I haven't actually done anything to the S3. There's been literally nothing to film. But winter is finally here, and I don't know if you can see that, but it is absolutely freezing in the UK at the moment. That brings me on nicely to my current project, which is this, a 20 valve 1.8 turbo, just like that's in my S3. The only difference is this engine has got a blown head gasket, and I brought it because it had a blown head gasket and it was dirt cheap because of that. Now, I know we haven't shown the Mark 3 on the channel yet, but that's because truthfully we haven't touched it in about 3 years. But that is going to be a full race car build, and the plan is to build it completely on the channel. But the car's missing an engine, and that's where this 1.8 turbo comes in. So I'm going to completely strip it apart. We're going to do a full rebuild on this engine, which will be completely on the channel. Now, watch some footage of me struggling to get it onto the engine stand on my own. At this point, I've already been taking the engine apart, and you can see I've started taking a lot of the ancillaries off. And it's basically just an AMK. Now, this engine actually had 93,000 on the clock, which means it's in good nick, but the head gasket is a suspected failure. Now, we are just going to completely strip it down, and I've got basically parts for the entire thing. As you can see, it's also had a timing chain done at some point very recently, but we're going to swap everything out anyway. And because it's going to go into the Mark 3, we've got to do a few modifications and get some brackets sorted as well. But other than that, it looks really good. It looks like it's in really good nick. Now, this is the gearbox that we're going to be running on it as well, which again needs a clean. Now, this actually came from my Mark 3 16 valve that I had before I even had the S3, and I've literally been saving it for a project like this. So this is an O2A box from a G60, and I used to run this in my 16 valve. We also have a box completely full of brand new parts, literally everything I might need for the conversion. So I guess let's just get into it and start stripping this engine down. So, initial inspection with the rock cover off. I do see mayo, which is what kind of happens when oil and water mixes. You might not be able to see it on camera, but it is pretty much everywhere on it. And when you look at the rock cover, we've got that same mayo inside as well, which is like this weird nasty ass color. So you know what, I am thinking that the head gasket has probably gone on this. Now, that mayo happens from condensation, but there does seem to be quite a lot of it, so I think the head gasket might be gone. But the camshafts all look in good shape. The VVT looks pretty good as well. It's not a bad engine at all. We've even got new spark plugs in it, which is a bonus because I haven't brought them yet. I will replace the spark plugs. I won't cheap out on that. But overall, not too bad at all. So I think let's just yank this head off and let's get a look inside the bores, because really and truly that's actually what I really want to see. Alright, so I was sold this with a head gasket failure, and big shout out to Tarek at Bag Central UK, who I brought the engine off from, because it's completely right. Let's have a look at the bores. So, I mean, the bores are not bad at all, but you can see inside there's rust marks on pretty much all cylinders. This one's really, really bad, actually. You can see where water's kind of been sitting in there and it's started to rust the bores. That one's not too bad and that one's not too bad. But actually feeling for wear, there's barely a lip on this engine at all. Feels really, really good. Someone's really looked after this engine in the past. And I mean, look at the state. Look at the state of this head gasket. I mean, it is 100% dead. Let's actually rip this off. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, look at the way that gasket has just completely ripped itself apart. This is defo gone. Now what's interesting is this doesn't actually look like an original VW one. That says to me that this has been changed at some point. Maybe they just put a low quality one in. But we're definitely gonna have to take this engine apart now. This is not good news. We'll probably have to hone it a little bit. So looking at the bottom of the head, that head gasket 100% has been changed. If you look, this is the condition of the head underneath. Now, although it looks really, really nasty in here, this is pretty normal and it's actually what I expected. But I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but this head has 1000% been skimmed before, which means someone skimmed it, changed that head gasket, and it still failed, which just says to me that they put a cheap quality head gasket in. Now, I've got a proper L-ring head gasket set for it, so fingers crossed this doesn't happen again. But that just proves why you shouldn't put cheap parts on your engine, and I've learned that lesson more than once with my car, because it's come to bite me in the backside so many times. But yeah, this head has 1000% been off that engine at some point. Head gasket has been changed and it's been skimmed as well. And you can actually see inside all of these ports is all really, really grubby as well. But I'll be honest, I'm in a 50-50 stage at the moment, because part of me is saying rebuild it to factory spec and just enjoy it, have fun with it, race it, kill it, whatever. The other half of me is saying, while it's in the garage and it's apart, just go crazy and forge it like I forged the S3 engine. Maybe do pistons as well this time and just build like a 500-600 horsepower engine. But if you guys can help me out with that suggestion, please put it down in the comments below, just so I can kind of weigh up what the options should be, because I think it would be quite fun building another forged engine. I don't know if I want to spend that much money building a 20 valve to that spec. The other idea I did have was, if I do build this to factory spec, and I know this sounds really, really weird, but if I build this to factory spec, I can swap this engine back into the S3, run it on like a stage 1 map, 250, 260 brake, and then take the already forged engine in the S3 out and slap it in the Mark 3. But again, I don't see the point of going down in power. So just put it in the comments below, help me out guys. And if anyone wants to donate towards this build, I'll send you my PayPal details as well, because any money will help for this project. Now, I'll be honest, this is a lot better than I thought it would be. And I'm quite glad that I bought this actually. Should be a fun little build. Shouldn't take too much effort to get it running right. I do still need to flip it over, take the sump off, and go through all of that details. But guys, this has been everything for this episode, and there will be more coming on this soon because winter is here and I will be stuck at home working in this garage. But guys, thank you very much for watching another episode of Pritpals Projects. You guys know what to do. If you like the content, please like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.